remember sitting with Tiffany at the kitchen table, and said, "Look, I want to go do this venture." She knew, she was like, "Right, is this another business card?" Yeah. And so then we moved into the garage, lined it all out, heated, carpeted, put the cot in the corner, and so there was times at the early part of that, then you kind of really going, this needs to work,
Yeah.
There must be 5 or 10 business cards I've got tucked in a drawer, all these ideas. But I think, again, that was just all of the journey, and just try that. Does it feel right? I'm not sure. And is it something I want to do? No, you kind of just, you poke the bear, don't you, a bit. But what the bear that I did poke was the security for commercial and vacant property. That was the one that I did do, and that was how then the birth of, which was my first venture, was called Securo. 2011, I was in a very safe and secure job, doing very well at it. But I think the thing for me there, Will, was I'd hit a ceiling.
Yep.
Every year I'd meet with the owners, and they'd say, "Right, Neil, where do you want to go? What are you going to do?" And I was never going to be an owner of one of those businesses, because you needed to be part of the Royal Institute, Chartered Surveyors, and all of this. I don't do paperwork. I don't particularly do writing a lot. They want all that. That's what they need in that business, where I'm a deal doer, putting people together, and I'm an agent. I'm a commercial agent. I'm a people's person, okay? So from that, I knew that I'd hit my ceiling. So in setting up Securo, I went and met with the owner, and I said, "Look, I've got this new venture," and we kind of pints and embraced on it. He said, "Sweeney, crack on, enjoy it. You're going to be great. Go and do it." And that was.
I want to touch on that, right? Because, and I've never shared this, I don't think, with anybody ever, is there's that allegiance to the person that you worked for, but wanting to go and set up. How did you, was that a fear thing? Did you feel that you shouldn't do it because you wanted to stay loyal? What was?
Yeah, I think one of those was, most people don't make moves through fear, because it's predominantly financial fear, reputation, identity. There's a number of. For me, my big one was, we were renting a house. So me and my wife, we had a 3-year-old, and she was just due to be. We had another one soon to be coming on the way, and we were renting a house, and I needed to have my absolute overheads down to a minimum. So we moved out of the rental, we moved into a garage, her in-laws, we moved into my in-laws' garage. We converted it, it was heated, it was warm, it was carpeted, but I did these moves to remove the financial worry from setting the business up.
So that was a tactical, strategic focus, right? Yeah. Let's reduce that down so there's not the stress.
Yeah, bring everything down. I know that I was a good agent, so if this does fail, I can go and find out, I can get back into the industry in space to that, but I've got belief. There's more in me, because I've spent the last 10 plus years with other owners, other entrepreneurs, building their companies and doing it. And so I know there's more in the tank. I want to be the master of my own destiny in that sense. So yes, I remember sitting with Tiffany at the kitchen table, and said, "Look, I want to go do this venture." She knew, she was like, "Right, is this another business card?" Yeah, is this another one? But this was genuine. I knew that there was space there. And so then we moved into the garage, lined it all out, heated, carpeted, put the cot in the corner, and so there was times at the early part of that, then you kind of really going, this needs to work, and it did, and it was great, but they were so fun, they're the best. When I talk to people now on their first journeys of whatever they're doing, it's just so exciting, because I know they will remember certain moments you'll have. My first job was £88 in a bin store clean in Buckhurst Hill. I loved it. I'm cleaning the bins out, washing them all down. But it was only a month before that, I was a commercial agent talking to institutional investors about a development deal. But now I'm in there with the broom and the transit. But it's because it's my business.
Yeah,
it's something. It's different. It's very different when it's on your head and your watch. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing you said about the embrace. So I remember deciding that I was going to leave this company, and I would say he was like quite a father figure to me, the guy who owned the business. And I remember handwriting a 3-page letter and delivering it to him on a Sunday evening in tears.
Yeah,
that's how much it meant to leave that company.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you said about the embrace with the owner and saying like this, and he couldn't have been more supportive.
But how amazing that you did that, because the power of that, most would go, it works, I love the people I'm with, I'm getting rewarded for it. Yeah, I'm happy, fine. But sometimes there's something, there's an inner fire, isn't there? And you go, no, I need to go and do that. I need to go. And my words were to Colin, who was the owner of my old business, is that I was working for, is I need to go and make my mistakes. I need to go and do more. There's more in me. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So then Securo. So starting first job, £88.
Yeah, Buckhurst Hill.
Bins.
Bought a transit van for £3,000 in Kent. 2 brooms. That was where it started. We were doing so that from that side, it was smoke and mirrors all the way. I had, as I say,
what do you mean by smoke and mirrors?
So my wife had a dance college.
Yep.
So I then went and got the guys that were there, the dancers. I then bought all their outfits for them, put high vises on them, bought Securo logos. We went and did a photo shoot that they were my employees,
right, okay.
Cleaning things and landscaping. I had Dangerous Dave from the pub. He was the doorman. I said to him, look, I need to do a photo shoot. Could you be a security guard for me? And he was like, yeah, great. He said, I've got a dog. I said, can you bring the dog? It was the...
he came with his poodle. That's not quite what I was expecting.
Came with the poodle along. It's a vicious poodle. Don't go near it. So, yeah, what I did from that point was set up the facade that the business is bigger. The last thing that you can do is when you're going to win work is go and say to them, it's just me. I want to look after your building. I've just set up, I'm not even VAT registered yet because we're not at that threshold. You have got to, they need to know that they can trust in you and what your service is. So I do think, for me at that point, it brought me huge sort of return in being that. So yeah, we just dressed up the front load of it. I remember getting decal stickers for my van. My brother had 2 vans, he was in building, put them over his signs, took photos of that with all these dancers around it. In actual fact, the brochure was amazing. The website looked like a real big business at that point. But what it allowed me to do was then go and find the work, get the work, and then I'll deal with it, And we were we were just on the ropes in the corner, just making it happen.
And over a period of, what would it have been, 15 years?
Yeah. It wasn't quite 15 years, but it was about 13 years.
About 13 years, that business grew and grew and grew to basically providing security to
it's amazing.
Sites all over.
Yeah. We grew it national. Mitch, my business partner, in the very early days, he joined me. He bought 50% of the company with a Volkswagen Caddy. That'll be worth a few quid, that Caddy, now to him. But at that time there was no value there. It was just us. And he came and sat with me, and it was okay. Let's go together. So I needed a great partner. That's a share as well.
Define great partner.
The yin to your yang is probably the best way to put it.
So what was Mitch great at that you wasn't?
He was, amazing guy. He's still around.
So as if he's passed on, rest in peace.
Amazing guy, love him. Love him.
I'm going to be sending a free copy of my book, North Star Thinking, Master Your Mindset and Live a Life You Love, to someone that comments on this video. And if you're loving this video, then hit like and subscribe to get more.